because of fresh rumors that Tasha K has discovered secret recordings related to Mendeecees Harris. The internet is buzzing with an intensity no one anticipated, and the response has been explosive. Social media users are attempting to ascertain the contents of these purported videos, the identity of the person who recorded them, and the reason behind anyone's initial retention of such material. The way these accounts portray Yandy Harris as being totally unprepared, as if she never thought anything like this might end up in the public glare, is what's making the issue even more unstable. As if they are attempting to unravel a riddle before anybody else. Viewers of reality dramas are already crowding timelines, muttering, arguing, and putting forward theories that the conversation really got underway. When a number of pages started reporting that Tasha K was getting ready to talk about something significant on her platform, something related to secret discussions that were never supposed to be made public. Everything changed as soon as the posts were published. Fans began questioning who released these purported recordings, why they exist, and what conflicts they might reveal. While some believe the talks may be innocuous, others are certain there is more going on. Something that might disturb the peace the Harris family has been attempting to maintain. The rumors alone are igniting emotions like wildfire. Even in the absence of confirmation, people are speculating that there could be a wide range of feelings if the public ever sees these purported tapes. Critics are keeping a careful eye on their voyage. Fans are voicing concerns, and longtime watchers are eager to see how this might affect their dynamic. The ideal storm is being created by the combination of curiosity and uncertainty, drawing everyone into the anticipation of what might happen next, now that so many people have voiced their opinions. The concern is not just what might be on these purported recordings, but also how everyone involved might react if the rumors continue to gain traction. Every fresh whisper heightens the already mounting anxiety. People began to observe how quickly the tone surrounding the Harris family changed as soon as these internet reports gained popularity. Normally lighthearted conversations abruptly transformed into areas where every minute detail was being examined, while some people insisted the whole affair happened out of the blue. Others claimed to have heard early rumors about Tasha K getting something unexpected. The fact that some posts implied that these purported recordings weren't just random audio files but were emotional clips, the kind of content that may arouse unresolved emotions and bring past talks back into the spotlight, made it even more painful. Fans had been watching the family's ups and downs for years and wondering how much of what they saw on film reflected the reality behind closed doors. So that concept alone threw them into a spiral. The atmosphere became more speculative soon as people started to share their theories. Users commented that if these purported recordings are real, they could show hitherto undiscovered aspects of Mendeecees. Some were certain that the recording may contain sensitive moments, while others thought it might contain tension or disputes that were never discussed in public. Every new assumption created an additional level of suspense, as though everyone was holding their breath in expectation of a confirmation. People were talking constantly because of the time of everything, not just the concept of private words being discovered. Some thought it was too coincidence that anything like this would come out in internet discourse, right? When everything appeared to be going well, around the same period, discussions concerning Yandy also started to surface. People were curious about how she may feel about her family being talked so openly once more, particularly through accusations and rumors that she didn't start. Commenters explained her stillness as an indication that she was silently absorbing things. Even though no one from the family had replied, some users even expressed feeling protective of her, pointing out how frequently she has had to deal with difficult emotional circumstances that she never requested. Others, however, concentrated on the ambiguity, stating that they were interested in her possible response if the rumors persisted. People were captivated to every update because of the peculiar combination of feelings created by the mixture of worry, curiosity, and exhilaration during late-night broadcasts and group chats, where fans frequently congregate to discuss their favorite reality stars. The most dramatic conversations began to spread. The stress increased even more quickly in certain areas. Some commenters asserted that the purported recordings might contain private talks that took place during some of the most difficult times in the family's journey. Whether those assertions were true or not, they sparked a wave of responses from viewers who recalled statements, interviews, and incidents from previous seasons. Every faraway memory seemed to suddenly become significant once more. Following the reports, individuals started comparing plots, making connections, and watching previous videos too. Listen to them again. A fan page's detailed explanation of why these purported recordings would be significant to those who have followed the families. Path for years was one instance that attracted everyone's attention. The article explained how viewers have witnessed Yandy and Mendeecees deal with emotional highs and lows, patiently handle issues, and reconstruct what previously appeared unfixable. The post claims that because the new reports focused on something more profound than entertainment, they seemed heavier than normal. People responded strongly to that message, stating that it reminded them of how deeply involved they had become. Not just because of the drama, but also because of the complex human situations that had resonance outside of the screen as more pages joined in. The conversation began to focus on how Tasha K might respond in such a scenario if the rumors that were going about were accurate. Users conjectured about whether she would discuss the subject right away or generate suspense, as well as whether she would allude to anything important without disclosing every detail. She has a history of leaning towards suspense, particularly when the topic entails emotional weight or unexpected revelations, as some have noted. Others countered that her strategy is always context-dependent and that she may take her time if she believes the audience should prepare. Every viewpoint fueled the persistent curiosity, particularly because no official statement had been made to support or refute the allegations. Amidst all of this, other users started pointing out how quickly rumors can spread once people start repeating them. They said that when a minor detail spreads simultaneously over numerous platforms, it can occasionally grow into something enormous. However, this didn't deter others from delving even further into their thoughts, which ranged from outlandish speculations about what might be caught in those purported tapes to sympathetic explanations. The most intriguing aspect was that even those who advised caution were drawn back into the discussion by the story's emotional appeal. The mood on social media platforms grew even more electric as the hours went by and the number of posts increased. Some fans reported experiencing an odd combination of empathy and tension, as though they were seeing an event that they were still unable to fully comprehend. They discussed how a single rumor may have a significant impact, particularly when it concerns a family that has been in the public eye for a long time. Others expressed concern about how these conversations would impact the kids, reminding people that real lives and genuine emotions are at play behind the theatrics. The public's intense interest in the news made it seem unreal, despite the fact that nothing was yet established. With every new thread and remark, the discussion started to turn to how the family may deal with the spotlight if the rumors continued to circulate. While some thought the family may decide to remain entirely silent and let the noise go away on its own, others envisioned situations in which they would confront the issue head-on. Some even questioned how Yandy and Mendeecees' relationship may be emotionally impacted, particularly if the rumored recordings included delicate times from their history. People continued to scroll, share, and analyze as if they were all attempting to get ready for whatever path the story would take next. Because of the ambiguity surrounding those options, people started paying more attention to every little response related to the Harris family as the conversations expanded across other media. A new round of conjecture began when someone discovered that a few fan pages abruptly became silent. According to a user's comment, when specific pages cease to post, it usually indicates that they are aware of something but are opting to wait. Whether or not such was the case, it created tension and increased the sense of unpredictability. Others said that there seemed to be an odd tension in the air, as if everyone was keeping an eye out for even the smallest change that might reveal the plot. Every new observation was viewed as a clue, and the way they appeared to be very interested in how she would manage the tension. This sense of anticipated preparedness offered another emotional depth. Regarding Tasha K, her name continued coming up in comments where people made predictions about what she would do next. Some admirers speculated that she might already be contemplating how to frame the matter if she chose to talk about it. And others noted that she had a way of creating suspense that attracts attention. Others questioned whether the reports were overblown or misinterpreted from the beginning because online narratives frequently spread quickly without obvious sources. Nevertheless, Tasha K's involvement kept the narrative alive regardless of which side people chose to believe. Users argued over whether she would approach it confidently or cautiously, whether she would give subtle clues or go right into a thorough analysis. Fans were glued to their screens, hoping for the slightest indication that she was aware of the chatter. Due to the unpredictable nature of her style, social media started to feel like a huge room full of whispers as all of this was going on at once. People posted brief remarks stating that they were trying to catch changes before they spread too far by refreshing pages every few minutes. The conversation became much more animated in group chats. Some people said they had heard that the purported recordings would include tense moments from past years, perhaps capturing arguments that weren't made public. Others said that the audio might be far more ordinary, misconstrued and turned into drama due to the speed at which information circulates online. However, the emotional responses persisted, particularly among devoted fans who believed they had watched the family closely enough to be impacted by any re-emerging problems. The story took on a life of its own as several interpretations accumulated. A few people expressed worry that the family would experience needless stress as a result of the rumors, particularly if none of them proved to be true. Their posts served as a reminder that, despite discussing public individuals, genuine emotions were still at play. Some expressed their hope that everyone would be treated with compassion and that the situation would be handled carefully. Even with these heartfelt words, most conversations concentrated on the tension and the dramatic potential, illustrating how rapidly online environments can go from empathy to excitement when a subject appears to have emotional resonance. When a fan account posted a lengthy, heartfelt message on the family's past, the drama escalated. The message detailed the difficulties the couple had encountered over the years, their tenacity, and how people felt a connection to them since they had witnessed so many vulnerable times. According to the post's author, the thought of prior discussions or arguments coming up again made people feel protective, as though they didn't want the family's achievements to be overshadowed by their past hardships. Thousands of people responded to this message after it became viral, saying it perfectly expressed how they felt. Others claimed that because the post emphasized how sensitive the issue appeared, it made them even more anxious when other users started to wonder who might have been involved in making or disseminating the purported tapes in the first place. The tension increased even further. There were hypotheses that suggested everything from miscommunications to intentional attempts to bring back previous plots, although no specific person was the target of the rumors. Others were uncomfortable with the notion that someone might have had access to intimate moments. Relationships are complicated. Exposing private audio, even in theory, can reignite emotional wounds, according to a few comments that expressed unease. Following those remarks, some claimed that since drama usually attracts attention, the public's attraction was unavoidable. A broadcaster read comments from viewers who said they were conflicted between curiosity and concern during one live stream on the reports. Someone expressed that they felt torn between wishing the family could keep their peace and wanting to know the truth. Another viewer said that the timing seemed odd and questioned why stories like this often appear when things appear to be going well. In response, those said that occasionally the calm times provide the ideal setting for unanticipated subjects to resurface, particularly when people begin revisiting past memories. Viewers responded favorably to this reply, adding to the conversation's emotional energy, even in the absence of confirmation. The story started to take on new dimensions as pieces were added to the puzzle. Some people speculated that if the rumors continued to circulate, someone could finally feel compelled to speak up. even if it was just to provide clarification. Others contended that it could be wiser to remain silent and let the story fade naturally. Nevertheless, followers continued to discuss what the family dynamic may be like in the background at such a time. People were even more captivated by the thought of private inside debates taking place while the public conjectured. Non-stop, one thing emerged from all the chaos. The story had developed into a shared emotional experience among viewers rather than only a rumor. People were reacting to more than just the potential for recordings. They were reacting to everything the rumors symbolized, including recollections of previous disputes, trust issues, the difficulties of navigating public life, and the delicate balance of preserving family ties in the face of ongoing scrutiny. People watched intently to see if the pressure of the circulating rumors would finally lead to a breaking point or just become another dramatic moment that dissipated over time. And the longer the talks went on, the more invested they grew. People started paying attention to little exchanges that would typically go unnoticed as the conversations became louder. During a recent online appearance, a fan noticed that Yandy appeared quieter than normal. This remark immediately gained traction. Replaying the video, viewers attempted to analyze her facial expressions, looking for tension, nuanced reactions, or anything that would reveal her feelings about the circulating claims. While some maintained that she appeared calm, others claimed to have seen a heaviness in her posture, as though she was troubled. The audience interpreted every moment of the video as though it had hidden meaning, despite the fact that nothing in it directly addressed the subject. In the meantime, users turned their focus to Mendeecees, analyzing earlier videos in which he discussed honesty and loyalty, with captions indicating that the context felt different now that conversations about earlier recordings were going around. The resurrected clips were shared repeatedly. Some fans expressed empathy, claiming that being publicly scrutinized for private conversations, whether they are true or rumored, creates strain that few individuals can withstand. Others were more critical, discussing what the purported audio's tone may show if it were made public. People continued to add their own emotional weight to the story once the talks began, so it didn't matter if those interpretations were fair or not. The conjecture then shifted to potential reasons for the reappearance of these allegations. Some wondered if someone was attempting to incite trouble in order to get attention. Others claimed that the timing seemed deliberate, as though the rumors were sparked by something going on behind the scenes. Drama always finds a way to resurface when certain names are involved, according to a number of fans, particularly when families with lengthy histories become the focus of fresh attention. That debate sparked a whole thread in which people talked about how public figures, despite their best efforts to put the past behind them, frequently struggle with old problems, resurfacing at the worst times. As users started to voice concerns about how the situation would impact the kids, the discourse became more intense. They discussed how families must carefully negotiate the shadows generated by internet conversations. Even when they are based on rumors, the public occasionally forgets the human side of entertainment, according to a passionate statement that expressed the desire that the children would be protected from the cacophony. Others agreed, saying that the family's emotional health should always come first, regardless of how dramatic the story gets. However, the suspense was too great to ignore. So, despite these subtle reminders, people continued to return to examining the spreading allegations. When a fan posted a hypothetical analysis of what the purported tapes would include based on previous arguments the couple had discussed in public, a dramatic surge of responses occurred, even though the breakdown was all made up. Individuals who followed their trip found the emotional tone to be authentic, which is why it went viral. The author painted a picture of the kinds of conversations couples occasionally have behind closed doors during stressful times by discussing moments of vulnerability, honesty, and dissatisfaction. Viewers had strong opinions. Some claimed that the hypothetical situation matched their perception of the couple's difficulties, while others contended that it was incorrect to make such assumptions in the absence of reliable evidence. This disagreement just gave the ongoing narrative more vigor, several viewers reported. feeling strangely conflicted watching a different broadcast hosted by a commentary channel. Some admitted they were starting to feel overpowered by how profoundly the story was influencing public sentiment, while others claimed their curiosity continued to increase. In response, the presenter stated that even when the specifics are silence. Some commenters even speculated that she might not respond at all, claiming that the rumors were too ambiguous to warrant a thorough discussion. Regardless of the theory, her silence put everyone on guard, causing them to constantly reload the page in the hopes of catching even the smallest sign of her viewpoint. Fans comment that the rumors were starting to eclipse the family's recent accomplishments, added another dimension to the already shifting emotional mood. People were reminded that the family had been working on several initiatives and made noticeable progress on both a personal and professional level, which is why the statement gained popularity. Some viewers complained that ambiguity had caused the focus to shift back to earlier disputes. Others contended that the public's attention is inherently drawn to dramatic possibilities rather than serene times. This continuous discussion demonstrated how readily rumors that elicit larger emotional responses can overpower positive stories. When a brief, grainy video started making the rounds and some pages claimed it was related to the suspected recordings, the online conversation heated up again. It was impossible to tell who was speaking in the video due to background noise, muffled voices, and ambiguous utterances. Users hurried to examine it frame by frame, trying to recognize words, tones, and emotions, despite the lack of clarity. Some claimed to have heard a voice, while others wrote it off as irrelevant or entirely made up. The video quickly gained popularity despite the fact that there was never any proof, since it added to the dramatic mystery and the air of ambiguity that viewers had grown accustomed to. Both parties experienced emotions at this point. Some users voiced unease, claiming that spreading unconfirmed recordings went too far since it conflated rumor with truth. Others defended their interest by claiming that people naturally want to comprehend circumstances that seem odd and that online culture thrives on the unknown. The conflict of opinions sparked a lively discussion that addressed more general issues regarding how people engage with drama involving public individuals in addition to interest in the family. The video was unverified during all of this, but its existence added to the already intense emotional upheaval surrounding the circumstance. As more people joined the conversation, they started thinking about how quickly little rumors can become popular narratives. According to someone, the incident demonstrated how rapidly stories change when viewers identify with the characters. Another user commented that even if the specifics are still unclear, the intensity of the responses demonstrated how much viewers care. Instead of slowing down the debate, these reflections gave the mounting tension a more contemplative quality. It seemed as though people were starting to comprehend the emotional terrain that the conversations themselves had produced. In addition to the purported recordings, the main question did not change despite all of these responses. People questioned if the rumors would finally go away on their own or develop into something that required public explanation. Every fresh murmur, every reappeared video, and every sentimental interpretation heightened the tension, making it hard for anyone to turn away, no matter how many voices pleaded for patience. The audience was caught in the center of curiosity, empathy, and a fascination that kept rising. The whole thing felt like a long, slow build toward something unpredictable. People started thinking about how the whole thing seemed to be pulling various viewing groups in opposing emotional ways as the tension continued to build. Some were more motivated than ever, certain that something significant was happening behind the scenes, while others were worn out from attempting to distinguish rumor from truth. This gap sparked a flurry of responses that spilled into unrelated discussions, where the subject came up at random because someone wanted to contribute a new idea or theory they had learned. The narrative had grown beyond a single rumor to become a shared experience for all those who followed. One observer made an attention-grabbing remark in the midst of this ambience. They claimed that the entire conversation brought back memories of times when unresolved problems unexpectedly reappeared, compelling people to reevaluate relationships they had previously believed to be addressed. Many people were moved by this concept and started discussing how the resurfacing of previous talks, whether genuine or imagined, may cause intense emotions, particularly for families who have experienced parts of their life in public. Individuals started contributing their own thoughts about historical disputes they recalled from previous years, revisiting poignant moments that had previously been extensively discussed. The theme was kept alive by the potent blend of suspense and nostalgia when someone pointed out that even if the tapes existed, they might capture a vulnerable or frustrated moment rather than something explosive. The emotional burden increased. A more relaxed discourse was triggered by this softer interpretation, with some fans arguing that challenging conversations help couples grow and that those instances should be interpreted in their context. Others concurred, but they also pointed out that because the public is rarely given context, rumors inevitably start to circulate whenever there is even the slightest indication of stress behind the scenes. Even with the softer tone, there was still tension in the talk since participants couldn't get rid of the suspicion that new information would surface at any time. People began to pay more attention to Yandy once more during this change. When they saw that she had shared something irrelevant on social media, inquiries started to pour in. Viewers perceived her tone as calm, even though her message had nothing to do with rumors. And that calmness itself became part of the conjecture. Some contended that she appeared unaffected, while others suggested that her silence on the subject would indicate that she preferred quiet to public participation. The audience latched to every hint, assuming emotional importance behind even the simplest actions. Even though neither interpretation was verified, this inclination to look for purpose only served to highlight how deeply committed people had become. Mendeecees also made a brief appearance in a video where he discussed how to remain balanced and focused in the face of distractions. Even though the video had nothing to do with the claims, viewers repeated what he said in an attempt to uncover any hidden illusions. He sounded grounded, according to some, but tension was evident beneath the surface, according to others, even while there was no direct connection between the clip and the current conversation. The more people examined it, the more symbolic it became. The audience handled everything as if it were a piece of a bigger puzzle, which demonstrated how much emotion had already been weaved into the story. Eventually, a remarks site claimed to have spoken with someone who was more knowledgeable about the case. They didn't provide any specifics, but the ambiguous assertion was sufficient to provoke yet another strong response. People's reactions ranged from enthusiasm to displeasure. Some saw it as attention-seeking, while others claimed it gave the claims that were spreading more credibility. Viewers' imaginations were stimulated by the lack of details, leading them to assume that something more intricate was happening. One of the main discussion points that sustained the emotional momentum was the possibility that someone had context, even if they chose not to disclose it. This assertion sparked fresh discussions on loyalty and trust in friendships and families. Viewers started speculating about how challenging it would be to leverage private chats to craft public narratives. They discussed how the line separating one's private life from one's public persona might become brittle when individuals with sizable audiences are involved. Some others expressed worry about how exhausting it must be to deal with such uncertainty, particularly for a couple who have received a lot of attention from the public. Regardless of how intense the speculation becomes, these reflections give the situation a deeper emotional dimension by reminding people that genuine relationships lie behind every rumor. As conversations became more reflective, members started telling tales from past reality TV seasons in which the family had to overcome significant obstacles. They recalled past arguments, vulnerable moments, and intense emotional occasions. Viewers thought that these memories offered context for comprehending the current conflict, which is why they resurfaced. They claimed that because the family had previously endured difficult times, Their capacity to resolve disputes made the current circumstance all the more intriguing.